सो हेलो दोस्तों की हाल चाल थोड़े सारे दा एक बार फिर तो स्वागत है मेरे एक नवे पॉडकास्ट। सो गाइस आज का ये हमारा होगा 9th पॉडकास्ट और आज के पॉडकास्ट बहुत ही ज़्यादा स्पेशल होगा। क्यों स्पेशल होगा? क्योंकि आज हम बात करेंगे एक फाइनल ईयर आईआईटी स्टूडेंट से जो कि आईआईटी पटना में पढ़ती है। नव्या श्री उनका नाम है, ठीक है। वो आईआईटी पटना में फाइनल ईयर सीएससी की स्टूडेंट है जिन्होंने अप्रोक्सीमेट 3 इंटर्नशिप्स कर रखी हैं। बाकी सारी डिटेल्स हम खुद उन्हीं से जानेंगे। बहुत कुछ जानने को मिलेगा, बहुत कुछ सुनने को मिलेगा। तो आई होप इस वीडियो को आप एंड तक देखें और इस पॉडकास्ट को जरूर देखना कि क्या आईआईटी में पढ़ने का एक्सपीरियंस क्या होता है। ये सारे एक्सपीरियंस आज हम नव्या से खुद जानेंगे। वो फाइनल ईयर सीएससी की स्टूडेंट है, ठीक है। तो अभी हम वेलकम करेंगे नव्या को। तो अच्छे अच्छे कमेंट जरूर कर देना नीचे और वीडियो को लाइक कर देना और दोस्तों के साथ इस पॉडकास्ट को शेयर करना बिल्कुल मत भूलना, ठीक है। तो ये फटाफट वेलकम करते हैं हम अपनी गेस्ट को। सो हाय नव्या।
Hi.
सो नाउ वी आर गोइंग टू स्टार्ट दिस पॉडकास्ट, ओके। तो गाइस
Yeah.
आज का जो पॉडकास्ट होगा वो मैक्सिमम इंग्लिश में होगा क्योंकि नव्या हिंदी में ज़्यादा कंफर्टेबल नहीं है। तो मैं तो शायद मेरे लिए भी ये पॉडकास्ट थोड़ा डिफिकल्ट होगा क्योंकि मेरी भी इंग्लिश में थोड़ा आतंक है। तो जितना हो पाएगा मैं हिंदी में बात करूंगा, जितना नव्या हो पाएगा उतना वो ट्राई करेंगे हिंदी में बात करने की, लेकिन मैक्सिमम ये पॉडकास्ट इंग्लिश में ही होगा। तो थोड़ा बहुत समझ लेना एडजस्ट करके। तो अभी स्टार्ट करते हैं। So first of all, thank you Navya for joining this podcast. It's matter a lot that you joined and gave your time to explain freshers about your journey. So first of all, I will ask you to introduce yourself so that people can and know that who are you and what you did in your whole journey, how you came to IIT. So first of all, we will start with your introduction and then later I will ask you the question and you ask those question according to the.
Okay. Sure. So, hi all. I'm Navya. So, is there some echo?
No, maybe in your earphones.
Okay. 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 So, yeah, I'm Navya. I'm a final year computer science undergraduate at IIT Patna. And coming to my internships, I have interned with Expedia, WeInvest, and Infosoft. So, since I'm in my fourth year right now, I'm looking for placements, and I have already bagged two of the A1 offers. One is from Expedia and one is from VMware. And yeah, I'm in my preparation phase of my placements. That's all about me.
So Navya, as I know you are from IIT Patna, so it is a very big thing to get into IITs in India and study from IIT. So it is really a very big thing. So I will start from your 10th standard. When you just passed your 10th standard, did you know that your goal is to get admission into computer science, or you have any knowledge of codings or anything related to IT, or you just passed 10th or took non-medical and then decided to prepare for JEE mains, IIT exams, and then you decided that you came here. So how was it?
So to be honest, I literally know nothing about coding by then. In my 10th class, I only know that, I love maths and I had also some achievements in some of the maths Olympiad. I really like maths. Then I have decided that I should go for MPC and engineering. But then I really don't know that, coding is the future. After doing my inter, even in my inter second year, I really didn't know that you have to do coding in BTech. After coming to BTech, I have eventually understood that it's all a matter of coding, which really matters for your internships or placements. But then coming to my 10th, my parents were actually pushing me into BIPC, but then I really had this thought that maths is my thing and I should do maths. And some of my seniors have told me that if you really like maths, it's better to go into computer science because coding has some mathematics in it, and remaining branch isn't that better if you like maths. So that's why I just chose computer science and I came into this IIT.
So you prepared very well for JEE and IIT, and you got very good marks that you got into IIT Patna. So when you came here, that you got this branch on the basis of your marks or on the basis of your interest, like you had the options for other branches as well. So how did you choose only the computer science from IIT? Not why not other branches?
So it was really the placement thing. My seniors and my brother is also in IIT Kharagpur. He really suggested me that if you get into CSC at any of the IITs, even if it is a new IIT, you would get a better placement in fourth year. But in 4 years you have to stay in college. New IITs facilities are not so good. If you choose some other branch in old IITs, that would be awesome. Your 4 year life would be great. But then placement is important after 4 years. So that's why I thought I'll go for CSC branch. And even in my JOSA counseling, I have opted for all CSCs till IIT, maybe Palakkad. Yeah, till IIT Palakkad CSE, I kept all CSEs in the front. Then I have went for other branches next. And eventually I landed up here in IIT Patna.
So when you came to IIT, what was your subject? Like I studied from a private university, and so it's a very big thing for us to interact with the IIT student. Like most of the student thinks like if I am not able to get into IIT, I will not able to get a good placement. I will not get good placements or internships or get good knowledge, good professors. So you studied from IIT, almost it's 4 years to be completed. You studied, you have all the experience, studied to be student of IIT. So like when you came in your first year, what was your experience like when you came? What was your subject in first year? And then what knowledge you gained in your first semester? And what talks you did with your senior to know like what to do, and what all knowledge you gained in first semester? We will like to know that.
See, firstly, I'd like to remove this myth that once you get into IIT, your life is done. So this is a completely false statement. This is not at all true. Even after coming into IIT, there are many people who don't even get jobs and still are looking for jobs. So coming to my 10th class, I have said that I have did my 10th in my own place itself. But moving to 11th or 12th, I have shifted to Hyderabad, and like I have got into a big place where everybody is preparing for JEE. It's a coaching center basically. But then at that time I literally know nothing about IIT. I didn't had much knowledge on physics or chemistry. After, I mean, eventually I have understood. I have met friends, I have got friends. We eventually solved the problems together, and we have understood, okay, this is not that big thing. You could also do that. So get right set of friends, get right coaching center. Once you have that, eventually you will discuss among your friends. You will get that competitive spirit within you to solve the problems, and you'll get into JE. I mean, you'll crack the JE. So after that, I came into IIT. But then after coming into IIT, I realized only computer science is the branch where people get 100% placement. But then even 100% placement doesn't mean that everybody is getting 30 or 40 lakh CTC. There are people who even get 6 lakh CTC also, and the average is also 12 lakh CTC. So it doesn't mean that you have everything. And coming to other branches, electrical people have little advantage over the other branches, but civil, mechanical, all those people are doesn't have much knowledge on coding, and they try to look for code jobs. And the code jobs number is very less compared to the coding jobs which we get on campus. So it's really very difficult. Even now, even during our phase, there are many people who are still struggling, who just started coding right now in the fourth year and are still looking for coding jobs. So it is not that easy once you come here. In my first year, since it's the first year after JE, everybody just relax. They don't study much. I just I didn't even know the basics of coding in my first year. But in my second year, my seniors really helped me a lot. They have told me that you should start studying now. You should do coding now. So then I started coding a little bit. I did some contest. I gave some contest on Code Forces, Code Chef. Then I realized, you should study this. We had courses on data structures, algorithms, all in our academic part, but then we didn't study much. In first year, nobody studies much. Everybody just chill out. But then it's very important to study at that time, because if you don't have your basics right, it's very difficult to correct them in your future. So, don't just take your first year light. I'm telling this to all the freshers who are in your first year. So have the basics. I'm not telling you to get into advanced level. Just have the basics, have knowledge on data structures and all. All your first year courses are important. So then when you come into second year, the second year courses are just a continuation of first year courses. So you will get to know more about coding in your second year. You will then start coding in your second year. Then you will realize, oh no, you should have studied that in your first year. So that thing usually happens a lot. So, but then once you have that interest to do coding, you can just move on. You can just do things. And also one thing that I have found is in second year I used to do coding individually. I used to do coding myself on Code Forces or Code Chef. But then we had some clubs in our college, NJAT, which are like coding clubs, where a group of people sit together and code. So like that, our friends groups we also discussed like we'll do coding from right now. I mean, from now we'll do coding rigorously. So we have decided and we have formed a group of 2-3 people. Then we have started coding. So like when 2-3 people are there, you will get that spirit. Like everybody's doing coding and you should do. When everybody is still, you just chill out. But when everybody is doing that, you have that competitive spirit within you, and you will start coding then. So I started that in my third year. From there, I have put most of my time in coding. So that's how the coding journey began.
So, like lot of students who are studying in private universities, when they go into private university, they have their one myth like when a student is studying in IIT, he or she have a very good professors, very experienced professors. So if they are only studying in, like they are going to class and studying from classes, they become very good coders and their concepts are very clear. They do not need to study by on their own or do things by their own. Like they can depend on their teachers, like they will make them so good in their academics. Is it true according to you? Like if you just go to your class and listen to your syllabus, like what IIT has designed, you are studying according to classes, then is it possible that a person will be very good in coding, or he will have a lot of knowledge, or you think that self study is the most important wherever you study?
I say no, not at all. You know, coding is something which you have to do on your own. College doesn't teach you anything about it; just teaches you the basics of anything. But then coding and the advanced level programming, you have to do it on yourself. That professors are there; they come to class, they teach the academic courses. So I'll tell you one thing: we have this course of innovation lab in our second year where we used to do a ML project. You have to do a machine learning project, but then the machine learning course is our props teaches the machine learning course in our fourth year, but then we have to do the project in our second year. So there you have to learn on yourself. Nobody is going to teach us in prayer. So that one you have to do the self thing. You have to have the interest within yourself and you have to do it. But then if you come to profs doesn't really care about all the people in the class. But then if you are so dedicated students, you really want to do research in one particular topic, you can contact them. They'll really help you if you want to go for further studies or do MBA or research in one particular area in which the prof is teaching or prof is part of. You can contact him or her and they will give you different opportunities where you can improve on. So they are really helpful in that manner. But coming to coding, the college doesn't really help us. Yeah.
So the basic point what I wanted to ask is that if a person is even in IIT or in private university, if he's trying to learn the coding, it's same for all. Like you can also learn, we can also learn, everyone can learn on their own.
Yeah, everybody could learn on their own, but then if I talk about the number of people who learn, I really feel that in my college there are a lot of people who are doing coding. Everywhere you see people who are involved in some coding clubs and doing things. There are even people who have a very good rank in Code Forces or Code Chef. So looking at those people, they inspire you a lot. You know, you even feel like you should do coding and you should reach there itself. And since I'm in computer science, I would say there are certain other topics than coding, like operating systems, databases, and all those they will teach you in the academic courses. Those are really helpful for internships or placements. But coming to coding part, what I feel is you should have a right environment, a set of people around you in order to do the coding. So that I feel is very good in IITs.
Okay. So now, as you told, you started learning coding in second year. So my next question is that, like, how you started coding? Because when we are new to coding, we know nothing. So the main problem all the student faces, which I also faced, is that how to start learn coding, where to start, what books to prefer, what books you prefer in IIT, or what resources, YouTube channels, websites, how to start and what resources to prefer to start learning, and what language. Like there is language C, all the colleges teach C in their first semester, and then C++. So what language you will prefer to crack the internship, as you already cracked 3 internships? So what language you will prefer that I should start learning and more focus on?
Okay, so there are many people who learn coding through the online courses, and there are also people who do coding through a book. So while I'm in my second year, I started learning coding through Letter C book, which is a pretty famous book at that time. So there I used to learn the concepts, and there are small questions at the back of every chapter you have in that book. I used to solve it on my own. Eventually, once I picked up on that, once I have gone through certain number of questions, what I did was I started looking at YouTube videos. There are different sources, like uh, right now I could say there are pretty good sources on online where you could do the course from. And coming to the language, the first language I think is needed for everyone is C, because that's the basic language. And once you are comfortable with C, I think it's pretty easy to shift to C++, because algorithms are same, but then in C you have to write a lot of syntax for everything. In C++, just one word does that. So I feel uh, go to C. So for learning C, you could do this letter C book, or there are a lot of YouTube courses or Geeks for Geeks courses also there, which I found good. So from these sources you can do C. So once you learn C, just shift to C++. There is one website called Top Coder website where you get everything about C++, the entire syntax, that you can learn everything from there, and it's pretty easy to shift to C++. So once you shift to C++, don't just stop there. I feel like you should start coding, like you should start giving contests. So there are code forces and code chef contests. Those are really helpful. Once you start coding in code forces, at the start, I think you will get only one question if you just learn C++, because in every contest there are on average 5 questions. So in the start, you may do just one question, but then eventually try to pick up, try to put a target that within 2, 3 months, I should do 2 questions on average. You should keep on improving. And the most important part is that once you didn't solve a question, try to look at the solution, how other people solve the problem. In case if you already solved the problem, try to look at different ways how other people have also solved the problem. Suppose you have written 5 lines of code, other people might do it in 1 line of code. So when you see that, you can use that piece of code again. So try to do that. Try to give the contests on Code Forces, Code Chef, and Google Kickstart is also there. And there are Lead Code is also there. Lead Code generally keeps its contest on every Saturday and Sunday. So that is also pretty helpful. If you continuously do it, I won't say that you should do for 1 month and leave coding completely. Just do maybe 1 hour or 2 hours a day, but then do it continuously. Keep a target that I should do 2, 3 questions per day of any topic. Choose your topic of 2, 3 questions. Eventually, when you do it, at the end of the month, you will realize that there is an improvement in the coding level. Even if you keep on doing coding, in the Code Forces contest, in my first month when I started coding, I just did one question. But after a few months, I had improved to two. But then after a few months, I had improved to three. So that's how you can see the graph yourself. You can see the improvement within you. Yeah.
So next question will be, when did you get your first internship, and what was the company, and what all knowledge you think you learned, like what languages, what subjects you learned, what projects you made to get that internship, and that internship was on campus or off campus?
So my first internship was off campus. That was through a LinkedIn. One of the PhD contacted me that he needs a member for the Infosoft company in order to do this. So he contacted me. At that time, I literally had no experiences in the project side. I just did one project, which is very basic machine learning project. So I didn't have much experience, but then my LinkedIn profile is pretty good at that time. So he just contacted me and he asked for internship. That was also based on a ML project that was resume parsing basically. That went for 2 to 3 months. So there I have gained pretty good experience. After doing that internship, I've started making my resume. So I had two projects at least in my resume now. So then from there, what I did was I started applying for internships off campus only. So it was not time for on campus. I think it was during my winter break in the December. I started applying for off campus, and one company called We Invest. They have sent me a link for interviews, and I have joined the interviews. And they have really asked me tough questions. Like they have asked questions on stacks, graphs, and but I felt even though I didn't get the final answer, you will have that confidence within you, right? Once the interview went well, so that went well, and there are 2 3 more rounds of interviews. Then they have told me that I have cleared all the rounds, and I got that internship for We Invest. That was basically a finance company, and we had to do things on the back end. So back end, I have did the back end part also. So right now, in my resume, I was confused because I have did two things, like two complete different fields. I had one in ML field and one in back end. So I just kept that both, and I have tried for on campus. On campus, it just the season just started. Then I guess there were a lot of companies coming, and then I have applied to all. I think I have applied for five. Sorry, I have got the chance for interviews for five companies. There were some companies where I lost in the second round, but then there were many companies where I lost in the third or HR round. So there I couldn't crack those. But then I applied for Expedia through off campus. So Expedia was like the last company where I applied for off campus, and then the process went pretty long. I applied in November, and they almost it went for a month. The interviews 3 4 rounds were there. So even that month I have used for preparation. So when I have applied, I didn't had that much knowledge on coding, but then till the interview round, I just got some knowledge and I could clear the rounds. And eventually in December, I got this Expedia internship. So from Jan, I did this Expedia internship for Expedia. So yeah, these were the three internships which I did.
So now the next question will be based on this, that it's very good to hear that you got all three internships off campus. So the next question will be that how did you come to know about this internship? What websites, what platforms did you get to know? Like if I want to also know how where to apply, what internships are available. So how did you get to know about this? And then when you applied, these internships were only for IIT students or it was open for all? And then when you applied, so when you got into that internship, you are going through the process, did the tag of IIT that you are an IIT student helped you anywhere, or if like it was common for unbiased for all students?
I think tag of it doesn't really help you. What really helps you is the referral you get from LinkedIn. That really matters you the most. And all three processes were off campus, but then the IIT tag doesn't really help much. Coming to the places from where I came to know that there are openings. There is this Glassdoor. which is a pretty good website, and there is Angel.co, which is also a good website from where you can see a list of openings. At least for 2 weeks, you just open the website and you just see what are all the openings over there and just apply for it. And there is also one college group within ourselves where whenever there is a new opening for any company, people will just share through that WhatsApp group and we come to know. So that is very important. As I've told you, having a good environment and good people around you who share things, that's very important, because sometimes, a lot of times, you just miss the deadlines for applications. So just keep a look on all those websites, check it regularly. That would be enough in order to apply.
So the question was that internships were open for all, like IIT and anybody
Yeah.
who is doing computer science.
Yeah, it is open for everyone who is doing that computer science background. But then at every job thing, you have that requirement. Like some people prefer to have knowledge in React front end or back end frameworks. So just keep a look on that once. In case if their requirements match your skill set, just apply, go through that and apply for that. That is open for everyone. There's no partiality on there.
So then when you applied for internship, your second and third internship, so how difficult was the process? Like how many interviews you gone through and what was the level of those interviews, and especially the test? Like if we apply for any internship or any placement, the first thing we go through is a online test. So how difficult was that test? Like what you think that how much practice I want to do if I want to crack those test, or what was the level of those online tests? And then when you came to interview, how difficult was the level of interview, that how much preparation I need to do?
Yeah, whenever there is a opening for a C role, just see for what role is it open, for front end or back end, for what role it. When I'm applying for Expedia, I got to know somehow that the front end, their opening is for the front end role. Then I've started looking more on HTML, CSS, JavaScript, and React. So in my online coding test, which is the first round, there were coding questions as obvious, but then there were also questions on DBMS and the front end tech stack basically. So I think that also helped us, because coding questions, a lot of people solve those, but there a lot of people miss the MCQs or aptitude tests generally. That is also very important, I feel, because when they are specifically looking for a front end role, it's important to have good score in the front end test, right? So that's the online first online coding round. And then if you clear that, you will get an interview call for the second round. So generally in most of the companies, that would be the technical round. They'll ask 2 3 coding questions. Some people ask coding question based on your interest. So what data structure are you comfortable with? They'll ask questions on that, but then some people ask it randomly. Some people also have a compiler where you have to write the code and run the test. So in my experience internship, there was a compiler where I had to run the code, but then there were two back-to-back interviews for me. So one is in the morning, technical round 1 and 2. One is in the afternoon. So the first round went okay, as I have solved all the test cases were cleared. But then the second round, there were some test cases which went wrong, but then the interviewer really liked the approach. So what really matters is whether whatever you're saying it to interviewer, whether he understood it or not. If he feels disappointed with your solution, even though if you have solved all the test cases, you won't, clear the interview. It's all about management and how you talk to interviewer, how you behave with him. That's the most important thing in all the interviews. So once the technical rounds are over, then you'll go to one more round. That is also the technical round, which is same as this previous round. So there were two technical rounds basically, and once you clear that, you'll go to the HR round. Generally, people who have reached the HR round will clear the HR round. There won't be much objection or removal of people in that round basically. So they will ask you the basic questions, and there are some tricky questions like, first, suppose, what is your aim after 5 years? Where do you want to see yourself after 5 years? If you say that you want to do masters after 5 years, they won't take your to the company. Basically, if you are leaving the company, why will they take you? So there were some tricky question where you shouldn't trap in that. Other than that, the HR round is okay. Everybody could clear that. So generally there would be 3 to 4 rounds in interviews.
So right now you are in last year and appearing for the placements, right?
Yeah.
So what's your approach for the placements? And this will be my last question, that what is your approach for the fourth year? And what do you think, like what subjects are really matlab, what subjects are really important? Like if I don't want to do ML data science or something, I just want to get a simple good placement at the end of 4 years. I don't want to do any internship. Or so what, according to your experience, are the subjects I need to prepare in 4 years, that at the end of 4 years I will get a good placement?
Okay. So coming to the approach, as I've told you, uh, go through the coding part. But then apart from that, there are people. If you are looking for internships, I would advise you to read OOPS concepts, because a lot of people really ask for it. And even though if seniors told you that, just say to the interviewer you don't know it, but then that creates a bad impression. Just learn the OOPS concepts if you are preparing for internships, and if you are preparing for placement, learn OS, DBMS, and system design. These three are really important concepts which you need to learn other than coding. So if you adjust the time properly, maybe you could complete it within a month. All these three things. So have give the time for that, but then don't stop coding anywhere in between. Once you lose that thing, you cannot go on. So, and coming to placements are different than internships. I feel that in internships they ask really simple questions compared to what they ask in the placements. So in placements I have seen questions like very tough questions using complex data structures for just a 8 lakh CTC company. And if you look for company like Google, they make the questions on their own. You cannot find it anywhere. So there were really tough questions which you get. But then what really matters is your approach, how you tell to them. So once you start, what I feel is for any interview, start from the basic approach, the brute force solution, whichever you get, start from there. So once you start from there, tell to the interviewer that this is the first approach which I have in my mind. Sometimes what you do is you try to look for the most optimal solution, and you don't tell this the first solution which you get, and the interviewer might think that you don't know nothing. So don't let that happen. Tell him the basic brute force solution. Then you try to look for optimizing the solution. You try to look for a better time complex solution. Uh, then what you do is, suppose you are completely stuck at any question, my advice would be search for different concepts, like see if you could apply DP in that question, see if you could apply binary search in that question, see if you could apply those concepts in that question, and continuously have an interaction with the interviewer. Once you keep on speaking with your interviewer, he will tell you if that you are going in the right way or wrong way. And there are certain points also where he gives you hints, and we generally don't take those as hint, but listen to interviewer very carefully. He's trying to get the answer out of you somehow. And once the interview starts, have the convo between you and interviewer, that he is comfortable to say. And once you are speaking, like some people are writing the code. While writing they cannot speak, and some people they can speak while writing itself. So look whatever is comfortable for you. It's okay if you don't speak while coding, but then after you have coded, just talk to the interviewer, have that conversation. So from there, he will make you to the right approach, just to have the better complex solution. From there you just keep on improving till you have a very good solution. So like I have also did my interview with Google. So what Google actually does as I told, it creates the question on its own. So I felt that the questions I haven't seen before. I even don't know whether there is a perfect answer for that or not. I have just tried to explain him my approach, and I have tried to explain him two, three different approaches which people did. Like those approaches are taking more time, and this the first approach which I told him is taking less time. So I think he really liked that. That's how I cleared that round. So it's not important to get to final answer sometimes. It's more important to convey your answer in the right manner. So that's the thing I feel is very important. And one more last thing which I really feel important is that once you got rejected and you could see people around you getting placed in different companies, the pressure just builds up and that goes on high. Just chill out. Like nothing is going wrong. You're doing it right. Just wait for the right company which really fits your skill set. Just wait for that and don't let that pressure mm, keep down your confidence. Just have that confidence within you. That's really important at the end of the day. That's what I feel.
So that's all, Navya. What I wanted to ask you, what questions I had in my mind, or few students asked in my comment section. So that was all from my side. If few last words, if I miss something to ask you, or you think I missed this point, so if last few words you wanted to tell freshers or give some advice or tips, few tips, quick tips, so you can give it.
Yeah, sure. So, like in your first year, all the freshers are in the chill out mode. Yeah, I don't tell you to start coding right now and do it rigorously, but then try to explore in every direction. Try to join every club in your college. Try to explore as much as you can in your first year, because once you get into a second year, you will be busy with a lot of things. So, as a freshers, I feel it's really important to look into different opportunities which you get, and also look into coding. Also, don't leave that apart. So that's it. I wanted to tell.
So thank you, Navya. So it was very nice interacting with you. I got a very
Yeah.
good lot of insights from you from industry, from the very big company. One last question I which have all, like if you are in IIT, is it like everyone will get 40 lakh, 10 lakh, 15 lakh? Is it possible, or like what's the reality?
Uh, to say actually, not every people gets that. Maybe the top 10 or 20 gets a very good package of about 30 or 20 lakhs. Not everybody gets that. Till November, maybe, yeah, till November, whatever the companies are coming, those are pretty good companies which give you a good CTC. But then after November, you will get a lot of B1 companies which have 12 lakh or 11 lakh base. So the myth of IIT means a 40 lakh package is completely wrong.
So that was all I wanted to know. Thank you,
Yeah.
Navya, for joining. It was so nice with interacting with you.
Yeah, thank you.
सो गाइस देखा, अब आपको हमने बात करा दी एक आईआईटी स्टूडेंट से भी यार। तो जो मैं बात हमेशा बताता हूँ, जो मेरा मानना है, आईआईटी, अब यार देखो, हर किसी के पॉसिबल नहीं है कि हम आईआईटी एनआईटीज में एडमिशन लें, ठीक है। अच्छे से अच्छा स्टूडेंट भी होगा, शायद हम में से बहुत लोग तो ऐसे होंगे जो ना पढ़ने वाले हैं इसीलिए प्राइवेट कॉलेज में आ गए, लेकिन आप में से ऐसे लोग बहुत होंगे जो पढ़ने में भी अच्छे थे लेकिन फिर भी उनका पॉसिबल नहीं है कि वो एनआईटीआई में जाए, क्योंकि वो पढ़ने में अच्छे हैं लेकिन जो बहुत अच्छे हैं उनसे कम अच्छे हैं। तो अब सबको तो एनआईटी एनआईटी में सीट मिलती नहीं है, तो हमको कहाँ आना पड़ता है, प्राइवेट कॉलेजेस में ही आना पड़ता है। तो अब अगर प्राइवेट कॉलेज में आ ही गए हैं तो यार ये सोचना बिल्कुल बंद करो कि आईआईटी प्राइवेट कॉलेज, ऐसा कुछ बिल्कुल नहीं है। आपके सामने पूरा इंटरव्यू हुआ, देखो वो आईआईटी पटना में पढ़ रही है लेकिन तीनों की तीनों उसकी जो इंटर्नशिप थी वो क्या थी, ऑफ कैंपस थी। उसको वो कैसे मिली, हर टेस्ट के लिए उसने टेस्ट तो दिया ना, लेकिन टेस्ट क्लियर कैसे हुआ, नॉलेज की वजह से। तो अगर आप भी प्राइवेट यूनिवर्सिटी में आप ऑफ कैंपस अप्लाई कर सकते हैं, अगर आप में नॉलेज होगा, आप में दम होगा, तो आप भी वो इंटर्नशिप्स वो प्लेसमेंट क्रैक कर सकते हैं। और वैसे भी प्राइवेट यूनिवर्सिटीज में भी बहुत सारी कंपनीज आ रही हैं। दिक्कत ये है कि थोड़ा कंपटीशन ज्यादा होता है, जैसे आईआईटीज में बच्चे ही 100-200 होते हैं, लेकिन यहाँ पे आपका कंपटीशन होगा 1000-2000 से। लेकिन फिर भी वो कंपटीशन बहुत कम है एज कम्पेयर टू ऑफ कैंपस। ऑफ कैंपस में आप लाखों बच्चों से कंपेयर कर रहे होंगे, लेकिन कॉलेज में सिर्फ आप अपनी कैंपस प्लेसमेंट में सिर्फ 1000 से 2000 बच्चों से कंपेयर कर रहे हैं। तो कंपटीशन को भूल जाओ, आईआईटी प्राइवेट कॉलेज सब भूल जाओ, सिर्फ एक बात पे फोकस करो कि आपको अपने सब्जेक्ट सीखने हैं बहुत अच्छे से। अगर आप सीएससी ब्रांच से हो तो स्पेशली आपको कोडिंग पे फोकस करना है, कोडिंग बहुत अच्छे से सीखनी है, रेगुलरली सीखनी है 4 साल। हर रोज एटलीस्ट 30 मिनट्स भी अगर आप हर रोज दोगे कोडिंग को, तो 4 साल में इतने ज्यादा एक्सपर्ट बन जाओगे कि बड़े से बड़ा पैकेज आप क्रैक कर पाओगे। मैक्सिमम प्रॉब्लम जो मैंने देखी है जो मेरे बैच में भी थी, सबके साथ भी आती है कि लोगों को कोडिंग में इंटरेस्ट ही नहीं बन पाता और वो कोडिंग ही नहीं सीख पाते। लेकिन मैं आपसे फिर कह रहा हूँ, अगर आपको एक अच्छा प्लेसमेंट लेना है, अच्छा पैकेज उठाना है, तो सबसे पहले फोकस करो कोडिंग पे, उसके बाद फोकस करो आप अपने जो अदर थ्योरी सब्जेक्ट्स हैं उसके बाद। और सबसे मेन इंपॉर्टेंट चीज जो आप सब में से बहुत लोग अवॉइड कर देंगे वो है कम्युनिकेशन स्किल्स। जैसे आप देख सकते हो, इंग्लिश वाला पॉडकास्ट मेरे लिए भी डिफिकल्ट था यार, क्योंकि हमको इंग्लिश बोलने की आदत नहीं है। हमारे फ्रेंड सर्कल में ऐसे लोग ही नहीं है जहां हम इंग्लिश बोलते हैं। मैं बोल सकता हूँ, लेकिन तब जब मैं रेगुलरली उसको बोलता रहूँ। मतलब अभी मैंने इंग्लिश का यूज ही अप्रोक्सीमेट अपने लास्ट इंटरव्यू के बाद मैंने आज इंग्लिश का यूज किया होगा, जिसकी वजह से क्या होता है, हम पहले हिंदी में सोचते हैं फिर उसको इंग्लिश में कन्वर्ट करते हैं, जिसकी वजह से बहुत ज्यादा दिक्कतें आ जाती हैं। तो इसी चीज को आप अवॉइड करें कि अगर आप कॉलेज में है तो अपने दोस्तों के साथ हर रोज इंग्लिश बोलना स्टार्ट करें। इंटरव्यू बडी नाम की एक वेबसाइट है, वहां पे इंटरव्यूज दे, मॉक इंटरव्यूज दे, पे करके कैसे भी करें। चाहे अपने, अगर आप कॉलेज में पढ़ रहे हैं तो वहां पे आपके जो सॉफ्ट स्किल के इंग्लिश के टीचर हैं उनके साथ इंटरव्यूज करें। तो प्रैक्टिस जरूर करते रहे, इंग्लिश बोलने की प्रैक्टिस अपने दोस्तों के साथ बोलेंगे तो बहुत जल्दी सीख जाएंगे, है ना। ऐसे दोस्त बनाए जो इंग्लिश बोलते, फॉरेन स्टूडेंट से बात करें, कैसे भी करें लेकिन प्रैक्टिस करें, बहुत अच्छा, ठीक है। तो यही सब कुछ टिप्स थी यार। आई होप आपको ये पॉडकास्ट पसंद आया होगा, इस पॉडकास्ट से आपको बहुत हेल्प मिली होगी। हेल्प मिली है तो नीचे अच्छे अच्छे कमेंट कर दो यार, थोड़ी वीडियो को भी पुश करा दो। जितना ज्यादा आप लाइक शेयर और कमेंट करोगे उतनी ज्यादा वीडियो को रीच मिलती है, तो उससे आपका भी फायदा होगा और स्टूडेंट्स का भी फायदा होगा, हमारा भी फायदा होगा। तो वीडियो पसंद आई हो तो वीडियो को लाइक कर देना, शेयर कर देना, सब्सक्राइब कर देना। मिलते हैं ऐसे अगली किसी पॉडकास्ट में, तब तक के लिए बाय बाय।